All right, what's going on, you guys? Brian here with a quick NXT recap, recapping everything that went down on tonight's episode of the Go Home Show before this Sunday's NXT Takeover Vengeance Day happening on the WWE Network. So let's just get into it. In the opening match, MSK, Nash Carter, and Wes Lee, they defeated Legado del Fantasmas, Raul Mendoza, and Joaquin Wilde to advance to the finals of the Men's Dusty Classic this Sunday at Takeover. We also heard from the three women involved in this Sunday's NXT Women's Championship Triple Threat match. We heard from all three women throughout the show, that being Mercedes Martinez, Toni Storm, and of course the current champion, Io Shirai. All three of these women doing battle this Sunday at TakeOver for the NXT Women's Championship. And this match will put Io Shirai at a huge disadvantage because she does not have to be pinned to lose her championship. So that happened. They they cut promos talking about the match throughout this show. Xia Li picked up another dominant victory, this time over Cora Jade. After the match, she would be confronted by Kaden Carter and Casey Catanzaro, trying to figure out why she is, why she has this new attitude, and it has something to do with Maya Ying, or Tian Sha, who was on the stage sitting, and Xia Li wound up beating up both Catanzaro and Carter, and that was it for that. We had a backstage segment with General Manager William Regal and Scarlett, where Scarlett asked, well, basically didn't ask Regal, but told Regal that she wants Karrion Kross to take on Santos Escobar next week, and Regal made it official. So next week on NXT, Karrion Kross will get his hands on Santos Escobar next week on NXT. Then we had the second semifinal match in the women's Dusty Tag Team Classic, as Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon defeated Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae to advance to the finals. And this Sunday, the women's Tag Team Classic finals are set. It will be Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart taking on Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez in the finals of the NXT Women's Tag Team Dusty Classic. And the winner of that one will earn a future opportunity at the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. So a huge opportunity for both women teams. And I will have my predictions either up Friday or Saturday, because I know the show happens on Sunday, so I'll have my predictions up before that. We heard from Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher, who cut a promo about their semifinal match on tonight's episode when they took on the Grizzled Young Veterans. We heard from Santos Escobar talking about the match between him and Karrion Kross next week. Then Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde walked into the room, and basically Santos Escobar told them, go look for Karrion Kross and make sure he doesn't make it to next week. And I'll get into what happened with that in a little bit. We had a Finn Balor and Pete Dunne vignette video talking about their match coming up Sunday for the NXT Championship, in which Finn Balor will defend against Pete Dunne at TakeOver. We had Kushida versus Austin Theory. Kushida would win this match via disqualification when Johnny Gargano, who earlier on in the night, before the Women's Tag Team Classic semifinal match with Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae taking on Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, tried to get out of the match with him and Kushida this Sunday for the NXT North American Championship at TakeOver course, last week there was a brawl between the two that ended with Kushida kicking Gargano in the arm, and he tried to get out of it. He came out in a wheelchair and his arm in a sling, and Regal, general manager William Regal, was not having any of it. He basically told uh, Johnny Gargano, listen, you have two options. You could stop this farce. You have two options. You can either forfeit the American Championship, or Austin Theory could be your surrogate replacement, and the North American Championship match could happen on tonight's episode when Austin Theory took on Kushida. And basically, Kushida had gotten in the ring, and Regal's like, you know what? I need to confer with, I need to ask Kushida about this one. And they didn't Johnny Gargano and company didn't realize that Kushida was in the ring, and basically Kushida revealed that Gargano's arm was really not that hurt. And then that was pretty much it for that. Then during the Austin Theory and Kushida match, Gargano got involved, super kicked Kushida. Then when him and Austin Theory tried to injure Kushida, Gargano was going under the ring for a chair. He wound up pulling out Dexter Lumis, and this whole thing would end with Kushida locking in the hoverboard lock on Gargano, and Dexter Lumis locking in the silencer on Austin Theory, and Kushida stood over Gargano with the North American title. Then we heard, as I mentioned earlier, we heard from Tony Storm talking about the triple threat match coming up Sunday. We saw an Imperium video where all four the members of Imperium talked about that the mat is sacred to them. We heard from Karrion Kross, who had beat up Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde, and basically cut a promo about Santos Escobar for next week. We heard from Cameron Grimes, who made his return to NXT, and he is a rich man apparently. He drove in to NXT in a Lamborghini, was handing out money to everybody. He talked about how he put money into GameStop, and there was news of GameStop and their stock going up, and people making a lot of money from that. And he then said he put money into dog coins and became a rich man because of that. And he basically told Regal money is power, and he no longer going to do what general manager William Regal wants him to do because he has money. So that was it for that. Then we had Johnny Gargano interview. We had an Io Shirai promo talking about the triple threat. And then in the main event, it was the Grizzled Young Veterans defeating Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher in the semifinals of the Men's Dusty Classic. So they have advanced to this Sunday, and they will face MSK in the finals of the Men's Dusty Classic, and the winner of that one will earn an NXT Tag Team title match down the line. So that pretty much wraps it up for NXT for tonight's episode. If you guys watched tonight's episode, let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments below. And that pretty much wraps it up. As always, I am Brian. This has been my NXT recap for tonight's episode. As always, and I will see you next time.